welcome to the first episode of 2012 in the Riddle District Football League Web TV program. My name's Yendi, just a touch excited to be with you, and we're joined by Gav. G'day, mate.
How you doing, mate?
Very well, how are you, mate?
Yeah, excellent, excellent.
That's good. They say that you're Mr. Football around here. You know just a few things. You've been around just a little bit. And why don't you just tell some of the folk out there who may not have met you just a little bit about your background, mate?
Okay, I was under-18s coach at the Sunbury Kangaroos for 6 years, as well as the assistant coach in the seniors. Took a year off before joining the Romsey Footy Club last year, and I was the assistant coach in the premiership winning side. I also coached the under-18 Interleague last year.
Oh, fantastic. So you know, you get your hands a little bit dirty here in the RDFL. You know a few things.
I try to pay as much attention as I can to the league, so yeah.
Oh, that's great, mate. Well, your first time here on the program, hopefully you'll just add this one to the CV and make it run beautifully. But we've got a super show to just kickstart the year, because we've got a few shows coming up later on in the year which will be in more detail. But we've passed the halfway mark of the season, and the way we're going to run it through with 4 electric quarters, we're going to have a little bit of a look at juniors in the first quarter, kick into the netball in the second quarter, and then the second half we're going to rip right into some of the stars and all the glory that is senior reserves and under-18s football, because we've got plenty of players out there across all codes and all age groups, and it's going to be a fantastic opportunity to dissect how your team's travelling in the lead up towards the finals, because that's going to be coming up pretty closely, isn't it, Gav?
Yeah, it's just around the corner really, which is fantastic, and the build-up so far for the season's been great. So really looking forward to the finals, and really looking forward to getting stuck in here to the sides and doing a bit of a review on them.
Magnificent, mate. Well, one of the big talking points, we'll cut into junior football. We've seen a few local stars rip it up over the course of the pre-season. We'll look to the under-16s. We've got Jake Lever, Matt Goodyear and Jack James from Gisborne and Romsey respectively, just currently as we speak over in Sydney for the under-16 AFL National Championships.
Yeah, all 3 kids coming through the Calder Cannons list and making the Vic Metro squad, and from all reports so far have performed pretty well.
It's been fantastic to see how they have been going. As you said, they have been performing pretty well. Just look at Matt Goodyear and put him under the spotlight just a little bit. His dad, Mick, is very well known throughout football circles in the RDFL. Matt played for the Victorian schoolboys last year in the under-16, so he's already progressed very well into the system. And from all reports, he is doing a magnificent job in the midfielders and maturing as a very well-presented young footballer. Jake Lever, now a lot has been said about the osteitis pubis. Not the best thing to have as a youngster, Gav. You haven't had injuries like that, mate?
No, didn't run enough to have osteitis pubis, so luckily I avoided that one for most of my career. But yeah, young Jake Lever's a real talent. His work rate and effort has got him where he is now. So I know his dad's mighty proud of him. And,
he is.
I had a bit to do with Jake last year when I was at Romsey, and he's a good kid.
Well, he's matured very well, because while he's in the old Vic Metro side, he is vice captain of the team.
Yes, he is, and that's an achievement in itself. So it's great news for Jake and for the Romsey Footy Club.
And speaking of achievements, just a little bit of a story on young Jack James. I was having a chat to a coach of his in years gone by. I think in the under-14s, a young bloke had broken ribs, didn't tell the coach for about 3 weeks, got the all clear heading into the under-14s grand final, wrapped himself up in bubble wrap, and went out and basically shut down the other best player in the competition and won in the grand final. Now, a bit of courageous there.
It's fairly courageous. It's a pretty good effort, I would have thought. But good for the kid, and obviously it shows that his commitment and work rate is the commitment and work rate he showed at that level has obviously carried on and got him to the position he is now.
And speaking of being in very good positions, another player ripping it up on the big stage, because we love our locals. We've got a couple in there who are doing very well. We've got Matthew Dick from Macedon,
yeah,
John O'Rourke, and do we have any others in there as well?
I think young Plowman,
yep,
Lockie Plowman.
He missed the carnival through injury.
Yeah, which is disappointing, but he's having a great season with Calder, and is certainly highly rated within the draft camp.
Well, let's certainly hope he's predicted to go top 10, but that's all hearsay at the moment. You just wait until the day, and if the boys get drafted, that's all.
Yeah, it's a pretty big year for this year, so top 10 would be a pretty fair achievement, I would have thought.
Certainly put Masson on the map, because we've had a couple of young local stars represent the AFL. Haven't quite made senior representation yet, but Dan Markworth, Tom Sheridan.
Yep. Dan
Markworth was named on the emergency list last week.
Yeah, hopefully he's not too far away. I've seen Dan play for Sandringham a couple of weeks ago and played a really good game. His improvement, he's another one. He barely played football a couple of years ago, and now he's on an AFL list and almost playing senior footy. It's just a fantastic achievement.
It's a great sign of dedication and hard commitment for some of these guys as well.
Oh, absolutely. And another one you missed there was Adam Kennedy, who's on the GWS list, is from Melton or Melton South.
So that's right.
He's playing senior footy at the moment and going really well as well. So yeah, the kids are doing us proud. I know Tommy Sheridan's fairly highly rated at Fremantle and isn't too far away from a game himself.
Well, I think he's been getting about 20 touches every week over the Peel Thunder, so he's been knocking on the door.
Yeah, and hopefully he gets an opportunity soon.
And speaking of opportunities, we're down to basically the rundown of the Junior Footy League season, an action-packed top of the ladder in many cases through I think we've got about 14 grades across 4 age groups, and the final series isn't all set. The top 4, it just doesn't get any better than this. And one of the reasons I can highlight it, if we can cross down to the under-14s Division 4 if we can, Gav. And this is just to highlight how close the competition is. Melton's sitting high and pretty on 36 points. Melton Central's on 28 points. Rupert's Wood on 14 points. Woodend's on 12 points. But we've got 3 other teams in the competition, Sunbury, Gisborne and Romsey. They're all within 4 points of the top 4. So when you get junior footy like that, Gav, I know what I'll be doing on Sundays.
It's what we want to see, and want to see these competitions really, all the sides in the competitions having success. And the most important thing about junior footy, obviously, is just learning and developing. And
we've seen a lot of clubs sort of take steps in the right direction as well. Melton Central's done a magnificent job managing to get more teams on the paddock. Unfortunately, we don't have Rolling Meadows in the league this year, but we've seen the increase of participation from players right across the board. Yeah, it's been good. It's the amount of sides participating in the RDFL is getting bigger. Our junior competition's strong. We've got some really great clubs within the competition, and they're all putting their hand up and representing the competition proudly. Did you take a great deal of interest in the junior interleague earlier on in the year? I missed a lot of the junior interleague because unfortunately I had to go away. Look, I certainly, I would have ended up divorced if I didn't go away. So I actually did make sure I kept up with all the scores. I've also seen plenty of the photos and the action shots and put them on the website. So look, the carnival was another successful one for the league. We struggled with the actual end results, but overall the kids really put in and played good games of footy. Well, I think one of the under 14s team had their first hit out at that level as well, I think, in Rutherford Port Seven. They performed admirably. Yeah, all our sides performed really well. So, I mean, from an RDFL perspective, we couldn't have been more proud of the effort that all of our junior interleague sides put in. Well, speaking of pride, young Gav, we've got plenty of that coming up on the line, because coming up next on the program, we're going to cross to some of the netball where the action is just hotting up as we get ready for a bumper second half, where we talk about the seniors, reserves and under-18s in the Riddle District Football League. My name's Yendi, this is Gav. We hope you're enjoying the program. We're going to be catching up with the second quarter action right after this.